difference between an experienced wholesaler and a novice beginner wholesaler. Hey, what is going on, everyone? Devin Knupp here with another video providing massive value and fire content like always. In today's video, I'm going to talk about the three differences between a beginner wholesaler and an experienced real estate wholesaler. And so it really just breaks down to these three different topics, and so I'm going to be talking about them from the least importance up to the greatest importance. And essentially by the end of today's video, hopefully that you can go out there, implement some of these strategies that more of these experienced wholesalers that are consistently doing deals inside of your own market. So that way you can go out there and make consistent money and make a lot of money essentially. And so the first reason why experienced wholesalers are where they're at versus the beginner wholesalers is because they're always filling up their pipeline. They've always got deals that they're working on. They've always got leads coming in that they can follow up on and keep them in their system essentially until they become deals, or they end up referring them, or they just back out of the pipeline. And so essentially how they're doing this is, first of all, they're keeping like a consistent marketing campaign that is able to consistently bring in leads. The problem with the majority of beginner wholesalers is they do the shotgun approach. They try all these different marketing strategies and don't get really good at one of them. And majority of the people that I know that are doing deals consistently have usually like one marketing strategy at least that they're consistently doing each and every day, and it's consistently bringing them in leads. And what they're doing is they're getting really good at this one strategy, which allows them to allow the business to operate essentially. And so they keep filling up the pipeline. They got deals that they're working on that they're closing currently. They got deals they're working on that they'll close in a year and maybe 2 years. And the point that I'm getting at is essentially you need to make sure that you've always got leads coming in and out of your business, so that way you can keep things functioning and keep the business running. As you get bigger, you're going to have more operating costs that come with the business, is running different softwares, hiring different employees, and you got to make sure that you can pay everybody and keep everything running. So this is what brings into like keeping the pipeline filled. And so now the second thing that separates the difference is essentially these more experienced wholesalers usually have a pretty decent sized cash buyers list. Now the reason being why you want to have a huge cash buyers list is because majority of cash buyers are flakes. So they're flaky. They usually like a lot of them they flip they flip properties, but it's like once a decade. They're not flipping that consistently. A lot of them are tire kickers. They're like, oh yeah, I buy properties, but it has to be like the perfect house with like the perfect rates that's selling at like 30% on the dollar or 30 cents on the dollar, which is ridiculous. And essentially they're hoping that they get the perfect deal, which will never come. And they're just there's always something wrong with whatever deal that they want to pick up. And this is majority of the population of people that claim that they're investors and cash buyers willing to buy properties. And so what you want to do is you want to fill up your list with as many people as possible, because first of all, what about there's these few people that do buy a property once a decade? If you get a bunch of people that are in that same situation, you never know when you may meet up with the timing, and you may get a few people that you got the timing right on this property. Another reason why you want to have a huge list is you are going to eventually start catching some of these people that are consistently doing deals inside of your market. And so some of these people, they're doing like 50 deals a year, and so they don't really care that much about the margins as long as they're making profit on all of these properties that they're flipping. And so they're more than happy to take these properties off your hand, so that way they can still make a profit and keep their business running. And so the bigger the cash buyers list you have, the better. A beginner wholesaler usually only has like a lot of them I talk to, they're like, oh yeah, I got like 10 cash buyers, and they're like super proud of that. And essentially, like, cash buyers come a dime a dozen. You need to fill up that list with as many people as possible. Try to have at least like 150 before you start trying to do deals. That's just my personal recommendation. You can go out there and do whatever you want. But essentially, the bigger the cash buyers list you have, the higher the chance of, first of all, you can get rid of the deal if it's a good one. And second of all, the more money that you can make inside of this business. And so now the third difference between an experienced wholesaler and a novice beginner wholesaler is the matter of the numbers game. And so what do I mean by that is that these more experienced wholesalers, they're playing the numbers game. They know that if I spend approximately $800 in marketing in this one area, then every $800 that I spend, I make $10,000. And so they're just playing these numbers. They're just using the numbers that they've already collected, all these different KPIs, which is known as key performance indicators. And they find out that, hey, if it only costs me this much to get a lead, and if I spend this much to get a lead and I get this many leads, then out of this many leads, we are guaranteed to do at least like one deal. And from there, we just got to figure out how much we got to spend per lead, how many leads we got to get, how many we got to buy, and then how much money we're making essentially is based off of that. And so a lot of them are investing majority of the money that they make, or they get to the point where they definitely, like, out of every deal that they do, they reinvest a percentage of that money back into the business, which allows them to project and go a lot further. Now, a lot of beginner wholesalers, what they're trying to do is they're playing based off of emotions. And the biggest problem with trying to run your business off of emotions is that you're going to get very frustrated very quickly, and you're going to lose sight of what you're trying to achieve. So if you really just look at it as, oh my gosh, I spent like 5 hours the other day on the phone, I didn't get a single person willing to sell their property at a discount. Well, you got to understand that, hey, you have to talk to like 30 different seller leads in order to do a deal. And how many seller leads did you actually talk to? They may be saying, oh, out of that time, I talked to 10 or whatever. And also the biggest problem as well is that they aren't as experienced. And so your conversion rate is going to be a lot lower than people that have more experience. And so what you have to really understand is that there is a lot of time that goes into practicing, and you just have to keep talking and just keep playing the numbers game essentially to become successful and do a deal. And so if I were you and you're a beginner, to become like one of these people that is more experienced, that is doing deals consistently based off of just playing the numbers game, then essentially what you need to do is you need to play it like them. And you may not be able to spend as much money as an experienced wholesaler, but what you can do is just consistently do something over and over and over again and try to hit the numbers that seem reasonable. So, like, for example, if you're trying to do some cold calling off of like Craigslist, and you realize like, hey, I got to talk to 30 sellers. And so the problem with that is, first of all, you have to understand how many of these people that you're talking to that are realtors. You need to also understand like how many of these people like you're not going to get a hold of. And so you got to figure out how many seller leads you can get every hour. And so let's say it's just maybe like 2 every hour. Then what you got to do is just the simple math of if you have to talk to 30 sellers, and you're getting 2 leads an hour, then essentially what that breaks down to is you have to jump on the phones for about 15 hours. And so just spread that out over a couple of weeks consistently. Maybe that's like an hour a day, which really isn't that much time. And essentially, if you just keep jumping on the phone and you keep getting those 2 seller leads every hour that you are on the phone, then you will be doing a deal in a couple of weeks. And so this is just kind of like, and then once you kind of get that money coming in from the first couple of deals, then what you do is just reinvest that money and just save your own time and either hire someone else to do it or jump into a marketing tactic that is going to benefit whatever situation and circumstances that you are in that makes the most sense, as there are different strategies for different circumstances, unless you got like a big huge just cape over a lot of different marketing strategies and you're just doing everything. That's a whole different story. But essentially there's a lot of different strategies that you can get into that are going to benefit you the most based off how much money you have and what your day looks like and your strategy and everything like that. And so it's really all about just getting that one deal, and that's it. It's as simple as that. You just got to do one deal, and then from there just play it off and just repeat what you did, or test a little bit and just figure out how to refine your strategies as best as possible so you can talk to the least amount of people and do the most amount of deals. And if you do these 3 different things that I was talking about in today's video, what the more experienced wholesalers are doing, then you will be doing a deal, and not just one deal, but multiple deals every month consistently if you just re-implement a lot of these different strategies. And so it's as simple as that. So if you guys want to see more like today's video, join the fam, join the game by hitting the subscribe button down below. Also, make sure you click that little notification bell that pops up. And what that'll allow to happen is it'll notify you whenever I upload a new video, as I do upload videos every day to YouTube. So There's always something to learn from my channel and helping you get to that next level inside of the real estate wholesaling or real estate investing business. So that way you can go out there and consistently do deals and just leverage some of the strategies that I talk about inside of this channel and really just go out there and become successful and just make a killing inside of real estate wholesaling. Also, if you guys like today's video, please smash that like button. I highly appreciate it. And like always, I'm uploading it every day. So I will see you all tomorrow. Peace.